Well, hello everybody. Um, Thanks Peter for inviting me to tie a couple of flies again this year. The one I'm going to try tonight is a detached bodied Mayfly. Inspiration for this fly is from Alan Kenny. That's the best tribute that I could pay Alan, is to try and replicate one of his flies. I'm just going to start here, try and catch the thread on the needle. And for the tail of the fly, I'm going to use some moose mane. The original had pheasant tail, and I think the moose mane is a little bit more robust. But if you don't have moose mane, by all means, cock pheasant tail will work just the same. Let's tail in and lay down a layer of thread in the body. The tag end, don't break that off, because that's will be used for the tail, or for the rib, sorry, the tail. I'm just going to trim these off at the front. The original fly was sent up to me by Andrew Kelly. Andrew had got some at the time and didn't want to lose them, so I tried to replicate it for him. So the body is some dubbing. This is Vicuna, and it's a medium olive that I'm using, and you want to get it on quite thin on your thread, because you're going to dub down to the tail and back up again. And we'll bring our tag end to the rear or down the body. Just wind down over it. Down to the tail. Then come back forward again. A bit more dubbing. A few little lumps in it. And we'll do a quick whip finish, just make sure the rib's not caught in. And I'll trim this off just the length of the tail fibres. The next stage is to get some copy decks and put a layer of copy decks over the top of your dubbing. Let's work it in. Like so. And then we take that one off and leave it to dry. So, best Blue Peter tradition, here's one I prepared earlier. It's maybe a little bit too dry, but it's as long as the copy decks doesn't come off in your fingers whenever you're working with it. That's the main thing. So we just got our thread back on again, and now I'm just going to take our tag end that we had wound down and create a rib with that. Rib up the body. And tie it off. And we just whip finish again. Trim that. And then we come in again with our copy decks. And put another layer on over the top of the rib. Like so. Now this is, take this one off again and leave it to dry completely. And what you'll end up with is something like this, where you have the copy decks are completely dry and your body colour is showing through on your rib. So now I'll just grab this and ease it off the needle. There we have our body. Leave our needle away so we don't impale ourselves. And we'll get a hook in the vise. So now we can assemble the fly. So the hook I'm using is Camazon B175. Just start the thread at the eye. Lay down a bed of thread. Just down level with the point of the hook. Then we get our body. I'm just going to catch it on the body itself first of all. And then we'll wind forward. So we're trapping in those tail fibres and the thread fibres that we had. So far, so good. At this stage, we'll tie in the wing. Which is some CDC feathers. See if I can get to lay two on top of each other. Two CDC, natural CDC. Catch them on the top, pull them back, and then trap those all in. Bring our thread back. Hackle. I'm using a medium olive. Basically, you could use whatever colour of mayfly is coming off your lake at the time. So it could be light olive or yellow or whatever. So catch the hackle in, and we'll get a little bit of dubbing, just thorax to wind over. Like so. Wind our hackle. My hackle wants to twist on me. Give me a second. Here we go. Wind the hackle forward over the dubbing. Catch it in with a few turns. Stroke everything back. Break that away. And then with the CDC, we'll create a little bubble wing. Like so. Cut off the stalks. And just tidy up the head. And we'll come in and whip finish. Couple of coats of varnish. And there you have detached body CDC Mayfly, inspired by the one and only Alan Kenny, and it's my privilege to tie it. I hope you enjoyed it, and please give them a go. They take a little bit of work, but they're not difficult once you get onto them. And hope you have a good rest of the evening. And as I say, tie a few up, and give them a go next May. Hopefully we'll have a better sport. Thanks very much.